I'm Andre L. Punsalan from Criminology 23, and this video is a tutorial video all about personal identification techniques. We have only 6 topics to discuss: forensic anthropology, forensic serology, forensic odontology, DNA fingerprinting, portrait veil, and anthropometry. Okay, the first topic is forensic anthropology. Forensic anthropology can be described as the analysis of human remains for medical legal purpose of establishing identity. Means it is a multidisciplinary endeavor that applies the knowledge of biological anthropology and human osteology to cases where human remains are skeletonized. Anthropologists are routinely called upon to assist in the identification of individuals whose remains are severely decomposed, burned, disrupted, mutilated, or otherwise rendered difficult to recognize. Their services have been of particular value of 3 main areas. First, investigations resulting from homicide, unexplained natural death, accident, and mass fatalities. Second is non-criminal events resulting in multiple deaths. And third is war crimes, investigations, and genocides. Okay, let's talk about second topic, forensic serology. Forensic serology is the application of the study of blood, semen, saliva, and other body fluids to legal matters. The field generally is comprised of the detection of enzymes and antigens, as in the identification of seminal strains or blood typing and DNA typing. 55% of blood content is plasma, mostly water and substances dissolved in it. Most of solid materials by weight are cells, red blood cells, and white blood cells. The third topic is forensic odontology. Forensic odontology is proper handling, examination, and evaluation of dental evidence which will be presented in the interest of justice. The evidence that may be derived from the teeth, that age in children, and identification of the person to whom the teeth may belong. Knowledge of forensic dentists requires encompassing of number of disciplines, since the dental records obtained can identify an individual or afford the information needed by the authorities to establish identification of the case. So, dental identification plays an important role when identification of remains of deceased person is skeletonized, decomposed, burned, or dismembered, and is invalid by visual or fingerprint methods. Okay, the next topic is DNA fingerprinting. DNA fingerprinting is a method used to identify an individual from a sample of DNA by looking at unique patterns in their DNA. The first step of DNA fingerprinting was to extract DNA from a sample of human material, usually blood. Molecular scissors called restriction enzymes were used to cut the DNA. This resulted in thousands of pieces of DNA with a variety of different lengths. These pieces of DNA were then separated according to size by a process called gel electrophoresis. Once the DNA had been sorted, the pieces of DNA were transferred or blotted out of the fragile gel onto a robust piece of nylon membrane and then unzip to produce single strand of DNA. Next, the nylon membrane was incubated with radioactive probes. And the mini satellites that the probes have attached to were then visualized by exposing the nylon membrane to X-ray film. When exposed to radioactivity, a pattern of more than 30 dark bands appeared on the film where the labeled DNA was. This pattern was the DNA fingerprint. To compare two or more different DNA fingerprints, different DNA samples were run side by side on the same electrophoresis gel. Modern day DNA profiling is also called STR analysis and relies on microsatellites rather than the mini satellites used in DNA fingerprinting. Microsatellites or short tandem repeats STRs are the shorter relatives of mini satellites, usually 2 to 5 base pairs long. Like mini satellites, they are repeated many times throughout the human genome. Portrait pale. This is the fifth topic. Portrait pale can be defined as a rigorous system for verbal description of physical characteristic of the subject. It is based on the Bertillon method of criminal identification by measurement of human body and is still in practice to date to some extent. A distinctive description of very feature of the face and the head are especially valuable for investigation, especially when a set of the suspect's fingerprint is not available in his life. The last topic is anthropometry. In Greek, anthro means man, pometry means measurement, literal meaning measurement of humans. Anthropometry is the study of measurement or proportion of the human body according to sex, age, etc. for identification purposes. Anthropometry designed by Alphonse Bertillon began in 1890 and lasted approximately 20 years before replaced by fingerprint identification.